Hello and welcome to Draw 5 of the 2024 Potomac Curling Club Junior Bonspiel. Here in the booth we have Mr. Ken, we have Dylan Klinsky, we have Brandon Hare, and you have me, Jamie Belfontaine. And we are going to be, and Mr. Ken, also known as Ken Clark. We are going to be watching the feature sheet on Sheet B of Team Laufer versus Team Stilp. We're also going to be bringing you to several other games as we can, and we can watch critical shots and show Grandma and Grandpa and everybody their favorite junior curlers. So this is the last game, I believe, of the round robin.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, after this we go into the semifinal and the final, and we've got 3 brackets. I believe we've got developmental for some of the new curlers in the middle rockers. We've got 2 competitive brackets as well, so we'll see, based on win-loss records, team evolve out of those brackets.
But everybody gets to play tomorrow.
Everybody gets to play Sunday, and as you know, playing Sunday when you curl is the goal. All right.
I think my mute button needs a little wiggle.
All right.
How are we doing? Yeah, better? A little bit?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Better. All right. So welcome to the stream. We're going to get started in just a minute. But just to introduce our teams on Sheet B. Team Laufer is Charlie Laufer, John Lassoff, George Harrison throwing second, and Zach Kaufman throwing lead, which means he'll be throwing the first rocks of their team. And they are playing Team Stilp, and that is our own Freya Stilp skipping, Becca Lassoff throwing third, Aanya Goenka throwing second, and Jess Lassoff throwing first and lead rocks. Over on Sheet C, we've got Team Harrison, and that's Holly Harrison, Penelope Abramson, Madelyn Van Aken, and Emma Laufer, versus Team Stone Cold. And they are, and that's Owen Derylak, Camille Schlanger, Sahana Venugopal, and Trey Waters. Sorry, Sarah, for mispronouncing your name. And I think we're going. So who has won the coin flip on Sheet B here? Looks like Team Laufer.
Yeah.
Oh, have we switched our feature sheets or order? Team Harrison. All right, we're just getting the information about quick last-minute lineup change over on Sheet C. So, first rock out here by, looks like Zach Kaufman. And early in the game, for those of us who are, and jump in the chat, I see 4 of you here. Tell us what you know about curling and what you don't know about curling. We'd love to educate you if we can, or strategize with you if you do.
Or acknowledge your shout-outs
Or
to your favorite junior curlers.
Yep.
Oh, very nice center guard there for the lead rock.
Yeah. So beautifully thrown first stone. And why are they throwing that over something else?
Well, in the beginning of any given end, we have 2 rules that are in play. The first is the free guard zone rule. So for the first 5 rocks, if they are in the guard zone, which means they are out front like that red rock is, and not in the rings, they are a guard, and they cannot be taken out by the opposing team. More importantly, a newer rule that's only been around for a couple years now is the no-tick rule. For those first 5 rocks, if a guard is on the center line, then it cannot be removed from the center line, even if it doesn't go out of play. And there are various ways of dealing with what happens if a rock is removed when it shouldn't be, depending on the circumstances.
But by and large, that's to encourage higher scoring, more offense, and more interesting
And a
play.
nice draw behind for the second red rock here. I don't quite, nope, not quite in the house.
Yep, those are 2 good center guards.
Yep. So Team Stilp is throwing last rocks. They've won the coin toss, which means they're throwing what we call hammer. And Team Laufer coming out with what looks like a very aggressive attempt to steal. 2 guards is generally considered fairly offensive.
Yep.
So,
and unfortunately, that first yellow rock didn't quite get over the hog line.
yeah. Little short.
Yep, just a little short. It wasn't much, but
That's
fortunately
what leads are there for, to learn the ice.
This is looking like a great
This looks
draw
like
behind
a beautiful
here.
draw under, so more than made up for that shot, and sweeping to drag it under.
Just touching the forefoot.
This is an opening to a game that I would expect from a Cap League team, any of the best leagues in our club. So we have it's like George Harrison lining up to throw his first stone, and it looks like he's trying to throw for the hit. Not a lot of debate about that. And the quick call of the sweep, try to hold that straight, and you'll see that going down, and that should curl at the end, and that'll make just the right contact.
Oh, just nicked the guard.
Just hit the guard. Yeah, but great weight, great speed, and the sweepers did what they could. So we have, looks like Aanya Goenka throwing her first stone of 2.
And just a quick rule clarification there. That was the 5th rock, and even if it was not, you are allowed to hit your own guards off the center line.
Yes.
Just not your opponent's.
You can do whatever you want to your own rocks.
Yep.
So.
And now, because we're on rock number 6, all those guards are fair game.
Yep. Fair game. So at this point, if you or I are skipping and I am throwing yellow rocks, first decision I think I'm making here is, do I deal with the guards, or do I play in and stay in? And it looks like Freya's chosen to go right in.
And that should tap that
rock
other one
back.
right back. Yeah.
So that's exposed for a hit or a double, but it's an aggressive move by Freya, and we'll see how they play it.
Definitely calling the hit again.
Yep. Yep. George throwing, sweeping right on it, so with the weight it is, it's under control.
It definitely looks like less weight than the first one.
Yeah. And that
It's also considerably wider, though.
Slightly wide.
Slightly wide, just flashes past. So if you're Freya at this point, do you start throwing guards up, or do you continue to pack the house?
That's a great question. This is where you got to make a decision.
She's kind of doing both.
Yeah.
It's like she's trying
honestly,
to draw
my
in on
opinion
top.
Here is a nice little scoring guard would be my call here. Just something biting the 12-foot.
Yep.
If it doesn't quite get there, that's fine. If it gets there, it's more things that they need to remove.
Yeah. And,
So what they got to be careful with here is,
Yep.
because they haven't used this side of the ice yet, this game is going to be considerably slower.
Yep.
And
don't know the curl on there yet.
well, it's
Yeah,
curling
it's
a good ways.
That stone broke pretty hard.
I believe that
may
might
have
have been
picked on something.
that might have been her intention actually there
Yeah.
to see what
To
that
test
side
out that side of the
to test out
sheet.
that side. Now that
Yep.
I'm sitting 2,
Yep.
let's throw that side and see what it does.
See what happens. All right. So it looks like John Lassoff throwing his first. And just playing that hit, hoping for the double. Nice, smooth release. And immediately yes on the sweep call.
Line looks pretty good out of the hand.
Looks like a good shot, and the sweep is
Starting to
off for
curl.
now.
As long as it's around that
chip on the
first
guard. Yeah. So learning the ice and learning where the break point is on those is definitely part of playing, and it will be different every game.
Different every end sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The number of times I've told my vice, I thought I had that line.
Yeah.
Well, and especially in the first end, it'll be different from rock number 1 to rock number 5.
Absolutely, as you start building those paths down. So we've got Becca Lassoff throwing her first of 2 rocks. She's throwing third for Freya, for Team Stone Cold. And let's see what she does. Looks like she's calling the same rock on the same line.
Stone Cold's on sheet C.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is just Team Stilp. Sorry, Stone Cold. And that rock looks good. And she's calling. So she's calling for the guard. That's why she gave such tight ice. And that's curling the way she wanted it to. And that looks like it takes away that hit.
To be a very
Mostly,
nice guard.
Mostly. A little bit of a port.
Yeah.
Chance of a run back.
Little over curl, but it's one of my favorite kind of rocks. It's in the way.
It's in the way, yeah. Any end in which they have to make the hard shots and I get to make the easy one is an end I want to play.
So it looks like he's calling to use his own as a run back.
Oh, interesting.
And open it up. I mean,
Yeah.
she's sitting 2 with hammer. If you can chip her down a little bit, I don't think I dislike that call whatsoever.
I like the throw. That's
sweep it
looks
hard
pretty
on it.
good. It is
And
starting
that
to
way-
break pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll chip out the red.
Two
probably.
strong sweepers on that ice, and if we're lucky,
This
it drives
might-
it straight back, get a piece.
Oh, almost.
Okay.
Still have options and opened up that right side a little bit.
Yep.
So
Got a little better path to the shot rock here.
Freya wasting no time in controlling the top wedge of that house. And generally speaking, and I think she's taught me this lesson a few times on social leagues, rocks behind that tee line that you see going horizontally through the red circle, anything behind that is not a lot of use to you mostly in terms of controlling the end. So keeping it high gives you more options.
Yeah, she was calling him to put it in the top of the 8, but if it stays out in front in the as a guard,
Yeah.
that was fine too.
Plan B looks like it's in play. They're
Looks
sweeping
like
it.
it's a guard. It might
No.
not quite over.
Just a little light, and that's
Yep.
that's that line where you're not quite sure.
Yeah, because that right side is still quite a bit colder and not worn in yet.
All right, so we're going to jump to the overhead. Oh, decision is made. Looks like he's just going for that hit. But as you saw, 2 yellow rocks in the house, and they've got to be dealt with. Otherwise,
I do like this ice call on this shot because
Yeah.
the first couple rocks we've seen down this path have curled quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like the little bit of extra ice they're giving
Yeah.
themselves here for this shot.
did you happen to see the weight call he called?
I did not.
Okay. And they're
And even asking for more ice.
Charlie
now
is
in the
asking
hack.
for more
Oh.
ice. Yeah,
So
give me more.
if I had
He's-
to guess,
oh,
then that's probably a bumper, maybe.
No,
looks
he's
like the
coming
voice
in
he's
with a
giving. He's calling a draw.
Okay, going
Yeah.
for the draw instead. A little
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. I love the audible when you get in the hack as a skip and go, I can't see that as much
Yeah.
as I thought I could.
I thought I could see 80%. I can see 8%.
Yeah.
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 And that's very much dependent on which hand you are.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Playing left-handed skips is a game unto itself.
Yeah.
And that draw, nice and smooth coming in. You can go overhead and see. So that will out-count.
That was number 2.
Yeah.
And so the decision for Freya here, it doesn't look like she's taken a lot of time to make it. That broom suggests she wants to hit and flop
Yes.
in towards the broom as we see it.
That's a good call.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. And that's, as you learn the game, where rocks are protected and where they're not, and what that means is a big part of what we're trying to do. So, throwing the inside out. And if you're watching this from the 2030 Olympics, this is where Freya started her run.
Yes.
This is curling a good bit
This
already.
it's curling a lot in both directions, and that's its own read. I don't hate that spill. That
Nope.
does leave things a little exposed, but it counts for 3, and keeps the double out of play.
So it looks like the conversation here is to either go for the original call on the last one or try the draw again. It looks like it's going to be the draw again based on the broom positioning.
Yeah,
Just a little less ice than last time, so that way
The
it'll
weight
get
was
over.
good on the last shot.
The weight was
Yes.
right
a little,
on.
little wide, but now that they've hopefully figured out that ice, this should settle in nicely.
Yeah. And it's a bit of an advantage for the sweepers and the vice to throw because you've walked every rock down the ice. So
You know
skip.
how fast. Yep.
You know the times, you try to infer it, but you're going in slightly cold. So Charlie's second rock is off. He gave that a little bit of juice. That looks good. Quick call on the sweep. Maybe a little narrow, maybe a little light. Maybe
It's
the
more
last-
light than narrow.
I
It's
think
starting
you're
to
right.
swing
Yeah,
back.
that's slowing down. They've got it. Yeah, that's solid sweep.
I
They're
think
dragging
it'll
that.
get there, though.
Overhead
It's going
on
to
that.
settle
They
in
watch
nicely.
them drag it in.
That's going to be...
That's very close, but it looks to me, at least.
I would say 80% chance yellow on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at that, that looks yellow, not.
From the overhead.
Yeah, that looks like 2 yellow.
Bit of a
So-
challenge to Freya, though. She wants to pick that out and sit 4 with her last stone. She's got 1 more stone to go, but its proximity to her own shot rock makes that a riskier shot.
Yep.
Over on sheet C, that was also the last red.
All right.
So it's also sitting 2 yellow. So chance, but it's an easier in this case for for Harrison, they just want to draw in for a third yellow as opposed to.
So
over on
explain to
sheet
me
B,
the double-edged sword here, Jamie, for Freya, as they're discussing whether or not they want to pick this
So
out.
I have the same dilemma. I really want to go for 4. It's early in the game. And now may be a time to take bigger risks. But if she takes that, it's a risk. If it were an open shot, she could easily hit that. The risk is that red
The
going
jam
onto that
potential.
yellow and turning your 4 into their 1. It looks like Freya likes this risk based on the broom plate. Oh, it looks like she's going for the draw brace based on the broom placement. And all she's got to do is hit full white. So she is not biting on that high risk shot.
Or is she trying to tap back the yellow, maybe?
Tap back that standing yellow.
Yeah, that might be a potential there.
And you're going to see as she's throwing on your right side, the draw for 3 for yellow. Just, is it a little heavy? No, that should stick around.
It's got to hook up. Here it comes. It's starting to hook
That's
up.
yellow. That's 3 yellow on C.
All right, coming in on the middle top of your screen is Freya's draw.
This
And that should bump it quite nicely. Oh.
Potentially.
And that might also be a measure.
That will definitely be a measure
So-
for 3 from my position.
Stay tuned for someone to go out there with
I
measuring
might have
device.
2 measures for 3.
Potomac Curling bringing interesting games to you from the very first
From
end.
the very first end.
Now may be a
yes.
good time while they debate and discuss to go over on other sheets and take a quick look and see what's going on around the house.
They did decide on sheet C, so I
Okay,
guess
so-
no measurement there.
We'll see whether they think it was 3 or 2.
Yeah, we'll see. And normally that is the third or vice skip. And you'll see there's only 2 on sheet B in the house right
Why
now.
are they moving the hammer?
Yeah, well, because the other team has him.
Okay, well, they
yellow.
said it is 3.
It is 3, all right. So Harrison going up 3-0 on Stone Cold in the first end.
And this is the hammer going down on sheet A, by the way. So this will be the last rock for sheet A. And we do have the
call
measure
for the
being
measure.
requested. I will be right back, and I will find somebody. Oh,
Michael
I believe-
Fry is on the way. Oh,
Or not.
or not.
All right.
Michael Fry's helping, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we have a Mark
We
Carlson
have Mark
going.
Carlson going out. We're good.
We have
And
many parents and volunteers here. So
Yep.
what sheet A looks like it's, oh, that's a tight one too.
Over on sheet D, they hung 1 for red.
And the coach is offering the technical timeout call. We are not timing these games other than the 2-hour limit, but the goal is here at this spiel to give them plenty of time to play. It's more fun to play 8 ends and see who does what.
Is this hammer on A about to come down?
And it looks
I
like the
believe
hammer on
yes,
A for red is
hammer on
coming
A
down.
for
So
red.
Potomac 2, which is, I believe it's TJ McKenna, Jack Davis, Daria Mulvey, and Jade Shee, and Maddie Kreisman. Yep. 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 Yeah.
So as it sits on A, that also might potentially be
Yeah.
a measure, depending on this last rock.
That
Last
looks
rock
like an
has a lot of
upweight
weight.
rock.
Yeah,
I
it's
think. Yeah. So we'll watch that
It's
come
on
in the
YouTube.
top of your screen on the
Potomac
left,
Curling Club on YouTube. Yep.
and that's through. So that's
Interesting.
probably 1 stone, either yellow or
That
red.
looks like 1 yellow to me.
I am inclined to agree.
Definitely those other 2 reds at the top.
It's going to be
Not-
that
not the one on the center
red
line, but
and
yeah.
the yellow are going to
Yeah.
be the decision here.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the other red, they moved one of them, and then there's the one that's clearly just half in, and that needs to
Well, fortunately, there will be a measuring device very nearby.
No,
when
no,
they
no.
go.
Just
Nope,
picked
they
away
have
the
made
yellow.
a decision.
So that looks like 1 yellow. Let's zoom in on sheet B and watch the most dramatic moment of curling.
The measure.
The measure.
Oh.
And that was Potomac 3, which is Seth Gross, Trey Casabianca, John Senko, and Isaiah Klosky.
And we are just waiting for the measuring device to attune itself to the ice.
Yep.
As we know, warm metal and cold ice do not get along.
And
So
here
they
comes
cool it
Mark
off at
with
the back.
measuring.
And fun fact, when you measure, you always go clockwise. Dylan, you're the expert on this.
Yep.
I'm just going to defer to you. What
Yep.
are the rules of measuring?
So always clockwise, and the person performing the measure wants to stand behind the measuring device and push it. So he is currently trying to line up, the device with the first rock there. Then he'll push it past to get a baseline and then to compare to, and then they'll, in one clean sweep, move to get the other one.
And unfortunately, we can't zoom in on these, but what you see, that little white circle is the dial face of a spring-based micrometer.
And that is going to definitely be red.
And you might just be able to see that needle move, indicating that the red rock is displaced
confirming
the spring
it.
more.
And the rock
there it
to
is.
The center confirms 1 red.
One well-fought, and that's 2. Oh,
that was 2 yellow because
yellow.
that was a measure 4/3.
That was a measure
that was
4
2 yellow. So we forgot all of that in the excitement.
Right?
And as Vice, sometimes that happens when you're hanging the score. The spirit of curling suggests that you tell your opponent if they've done it wrong.
All right. Well, after a gripping first end.
Seriously.
And it was indeed 1 yellow over on A.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So 4 tight games, and looks like with Stilp throwing Stilp winning the point, she's throwing first. And
there's
Jess Lassoff throwing their first rock. And the 3rd red rock in place on sheet C.
Very interesting start for sheet C over here.
Team Stone Cold.
Making moves,
Yep.
putting rocks in the house.
This is looking to be a very good guard.
Very
Start
nice
the end.
Tight guard, not quite on the center line, but that's okay. And immediately the call, draw under.
Yep.
With hammer, couple of choices. You can draw in, beat him to the center. You can set up your own guards out on the wings. What you can't do is get rid of that yellow rock. And the call to the center, indicating I want to take my points, I want to take this end. The risk, I think, for me is, well, you want to take your deuce, right, with hammer,
That or get a blank.
or get a blank.
Those are the 2 goals if you have hammer.
Right. Playing to the middle does, I think, tend to keep the score a little tighter.
Yes.
It's a little harder to build a big end.
And that's why the team without hammer wants to get that center and control the center early.
Play to the middle.
It sets them up
There's
for a
rock.
steal much better, or a force.
Or a
On
force.
B is a little bit hot and just a touch wide.
All right.
Trying to slow it down there.
Sweeping
FYI,
behind,
that
rarely
does not
effective.
work. I've tried it many a times.
And
But I
Ice
do
Crew-
appreciate the effort.
But keep trying. It'll work one of these times.
Exactly.
I yelled it once at a Saturday morning, and 2 bless your heart people just started furiously sweeping behind the rock, and I didn't have the heart to say
tell
anything.
them it doesn't work.
I just didn't call it again.
I prefer the magic sand of Simon. Yes.
Yeah, the magic sand, the pocket sand,
Yeah.
the rock salt in the leg sleeve, all good. But that will get you yelled at by Ice Crew.
Well, it's not real sand, Jason.
Oh, it's magic sand.
That or the force. Everybody can use
Oh,
the
yeah,
force.
use the force, yeah.
Slow that rock down.
No force, unfortunately, nor magic sand on this one.
Nope.
And yeah,
Same thing with
leads first rocks.
Leads.
We're calling it in. Get to the house first. And I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like this strategy.
Yep.
Get to
And-
the middle, play your game.
And what we were seeing there is that the ice has changed quite a bit from this same point in the first end.
Yep.
Because it changes quite dramatically during the first end because you're breaking it in for the first time.
And the ice shed is warming up with 32 sweepers
Yeah.
moving around, warming up the air.
Well, let's be honest. It's more like 24 sweep. Right, 24 sweepers because there's 8 skips who are not
There's
doing
8
that
skips.
much.
Yeah. Hey, now there are skips in the audience.
There's a skip
They
on
don't.
the commentary.
They don't sweep as. They don't sweep as vigorously.
That's the
Yes,
hardest
we
all
do.
the
thing
time.
We
is
just
sweeping
do
and
it for
curling.
5 seconds at a time.
Right, versus 20.
Exactly.
Excellent. Speaking of sweeping, it was an excellent sweep on sheet C. They swept it pretty much
Right
the whole way down the sheet
Yeah.
to get
Yep.
the rock in the house, and they're now sitting 4.
Wow. Wow.
As a lead on my Cap League team, I can tell you I have been abused by my skip a few too many times. having to, when he throws uncharacteristically light
Yeah.
with, shot number 7 of the end.
Yeah.
That's
And-
my kind of game, though. I love throwing guards as a skip because that means everybody else has done their job.
Well, no. Usually the problem is he's throwing guard weight, and it's supposed to be a draw to this button.
Ah, okay. Now I follow.
This is a beautiful shot. A little bit to the back, which isn't ideal because it gives a place for that red rock to sit on. But it does.
But it is perfectly guarded behind that yellow rock.
Yep.
Though.
Yes.
And it suits Freya's presumable strategy of keeping the score very low. If you have hammer, your goal is to get 2, generally.
And if you don't, it's to get at least 1.
Or provide the force. The force
Yes, the
is
force of 1.
And that for the Star Wars fans, the force does not move rocks. But the force means with hammer you only get 1.
And this draw.
So the ice
little
speeding
hot,
quite
little
a lot.
wide.
Yeah, we're adjusting. There's a couple of coaches sitting next to us with stopwatches who have better data than we do on this, but
Stopwatches and spreadsheets and all the good fun stuff.
technical improvement. And you're going to see on sheet C coming down another red rock.
This might be 5 red
Swept
in the
in the
house.
house.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's just what she called for. She was calling to tap that rock back, and they got it back. The weight was nice. It would have been like to be a little bit closer to the button, but that's they're happy with whatever that is.
And generally speaking, if you want offense, you want to get your first 2 above the house.
Yep.
Because a hit game can turn that house really quickly.
That is a beautiful draw over on sheet B. Overcurled just a little teeny bit, but it should be fine.
Not quite in the straight line, but high 5 slaps between Freya and Becca. I think that's Becca.
Because you can't double out those 2 because of that guard.
Aanya through that. Aanya Goenka through that.
Yeah, he's calling another draw here.
So great draw by Aanya. And Charlie trying to get rocks into the house. Give yourself inventory to work with.
I like the line of this rock. The question is going to be the weight. I think it's going to get here.
I'd say the weight is definitely here.
I think it needs to need it a little more.
Enthusiastic sweep. Unfortunate outcome. So generally speaking, if you're sweeping, and for those of us in the crowd who know about directional sweeping, please, I'm simplifying it. Generally speaking, when sweeping, you're trying to get the rock to go straight, and you're trying to get the rock to curl less, or go a little further.
Yes.
So over on sheet C, we have a hit attempt on that red. They'd like to hit and roll, but it's a little wide. It might.
Here.
It's going to miss.
Yeah, that just sails right through.
Yeah, if you want an example of rocks in the house, sheet C is where we're at.
Yeah.
If your team's stone cold, that is a great position to be sitting in.
Yeah. And that can lead to a big end, but that can also bite you when it comes to it.
Well, and Team Stone Cold has hammer, so they are looking for a huge end right here.
Another
back
draw
on
by
sheet
Becca.
B. Yep. Team Stilp trying to draw another one in, and this one is looking just a little bit light, but it is in the house.
Yeah, doesn't quite take away the run back, but Charlie, this is that point.
He's going to peel off this guard.
Get that guard out of the way.
Yep.
Halfway through that end, and you've got the decision. Do you peel or do you keep playing it? And looks like he's chosen to peel.
Yeah, at this point, peeling it is the best way to start minimizing any damage you could take.
And a nice smooth delivery. Whoa, the call.
Yeah, it's got to curl back just a bit. Here it comes. That should
That's
line up
contact.
for a nice little peel and roll away.
Good call, good execution.
And
excellent execution.
Yep, that is a full peel.
And a thumbs up on the left side of your screen, right side of the house. If that rock is technically in bounds.
Really?
From my point of view, I can see sunshine between it and the red line here.
Okay, I will trust you. It's
Not
just
a lot of sunshine.
The camera is obviously a little, misleading because angles.
Yep. And the fisheye is not always accurate from over top. So
Yeah.
Freya calling to put that guard back. I don't think anyone would argue with that.
No, absolutely not. That is definitely the call to make.
This rock looks a smidge heavy.
Yeah, it's going to come in, I believe.
It's that's coming in. But remember, as each granite rock is about 42 pounds.
That's a
What's
lot of
3
granite.
times 142?
Yes.
Or sorry, 3 times 42? Yeah.
Yes.
So 126 pounds of granite is a little bit to move. But the shot is there, and he's going to start cleaning up the house.
Yep. He's looking to, if possible, get more than one out at a time.
Yeah.
There is a slight angle there for the double.
More than likely, it would be the back two that would go, not the one
No,
that he
the
hits
front,
first.
the
And
front
that's
one would
released.
stay.
If we come overhead on this, we can see the angle of this hit quite nicely.
Yeah, I'll come overhead here in just a moment.
Beauty. And I
Here
think
it
what we're
comes
going to see
down.
is if it drives it just almost straight back.
Oh, he's just going to clip it and not get a full...
Right, but it gets the other two in the back of the house, which
Yep.
is
Yes.
really good.
This improves his position, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so with 2 stones that Charlie is throwing, he's got options here.
Sheet C, another hit attempt, also going wide.
Looks like that's not coming back on the top right side of your screen.
Which will leave the red
Leave
with a
Stone Cold a draw for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
6.
Big draw.
And Seth... is that
Touch paint for
Stone Cold?
6.
Stone Cold is...
There it is.
Yep.
Yep. With Owen, they've been making draws well all weekend.
Yes.
So I'm optimistic they'll be able to make that shot. And on our feature sheet, Freya throwing, you hear the call of 3. I'm going to turn up the kids a little bit. And 3 just indicates that they want that just outside the house. And that's going to overcurl a little. Looks like...
Looks like it might drift in a little bit too.
yeah, Jess sweeping for line.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. So leaves the shot open on the back, and you consider the draw, you consider the hit. Looks like he's going for the hit.
Yeah.
Why would you throw a draw here instead of making this call?
I mean, if you draw in at the, and it's hard to explain without having a pointer or anything, but if you draw into the edge of the 4-foot on our view's right side, then you'd be under the protection of those 2 guards and still out counting at least those 2 those 2 upper ones, potentially even out counting the one at the back that's biting the 4-foot.
So you'd be conceding 2 at that point?
I mean, you could potentially be conceding 2, depending on if they execute.
Sheet C, they came up short.
So
for 6.
only 5 for Stone
Only
Cold.
5. I think they'll take that.
Only
Yep.
5.
I don't know anyone who'd complain about a 5-ender. And here our shot, we're going to come overhead on feature.
Just a bit wide.
Just a bit wide. And that's where even when I'm playing a skip, if I'm comfortable on the draw,
Jamie,
I'm
here.
throwing the draw.
I'd rather draw it in just to the right side of the button, sit in front of that yellow rock, because then if they go, they can't really
They can't
it.
move you.
Right.
You pack it
Because
in.
you're going to jam on the back yellow, and you're still going to be sitting shot.
You're minimizing your risk.
Right.
And the other option that I think about when I do these is I hate as a skip to throw a hit and then a draw. And I'm always going to try to throw that draw,
The draw,
first.
then the hit, because it's hard to back that weight down. Yeah.
Oh,
you're-
yes.
So we've got Freya throwing her last stone, and narrow ice for what she's after, but I think if she can come in just on right side of that center vertical line you see, which is the center line, we're going to put Charlie force him to make a very tough shot. And Freya release. Weight looks nice from here.
We're going to have the hammer here on D in just a moment.
I think this is a draw from Freya.
This is a draw.
Yes, she's trying to get and do exactly what we just talked about.
Oh,
Sit
just get in, sit on
front
the
of
button
her
and-
own
yeah.
rock there,
And this is well
and
executed.
make it almost impossible for them to get their one.
Yeah.
That is a absolutely beautiful shot.
Yeah. So with them set up like this, a straight hit may give him his one, but it may not, because that top yellow rock isn't going to go very far, and it will still outcount the rock that hits it perfectly. Freya looking back for
Approval.
no, she doesn't need approval.
No, just to make faces at us.
Yeah. Freya step, as she said it on the way out the door. She goes by Freestyle, looking for the thumbs up for her friend Brandon, and posing for the camera behind us. And Charlie's shot off. He's throwing the hit. So I think we want to. So you're going to come down the center of your screen. This looks good. I think he's going to pull something
like
out
this.
here. Yeah, he's going to.
And it's got to stay.
He
Not
he turned
a bad mitigation, though.
a scary house into a short steal. I'd be happy with that shot if I made that. So, what's going on the other sheets?
Sheet A looks like we have 3 in the house for Potomac 2 with.
Sheet D, the hammer's coming in pretty fast at the
Okay,
moment.
we'll go over there
Let's
then.
start here.
Yep.
And looks like Philly Dream with hammer.
Sweeping hard.
Trying to get through that port. Red on red.
Oh,
No.
almost
Run
got
back.
it.
So 1 red.
1 red. Steal a 1 for Potomac 1.
And this will be hammer coming down here on sheet A, which looks like to be a draw for 4.
Yep. Touch paint.
Touch paint, get 4.
Yeah.
I'll take that offer any day of the week. What about you, Jamie?
You know.
I
It's only
mean-
4.
It's only 4.
Only 4.
I mean, we did just see 5, so
Right,
yeah.
right.
Jamie over here trying to get greedy.
Frequently. If you're skipping against me, give me the greedy shot. I'll take
Okay,
it every
well,
time.
then go for the split in on that
Noted.
red guard.
And
Okay,
very
just a
solid
little-
Get
sweep.
it there.
Little light on
Yep.
draw for sheet A, but
Not quite enough. Take their 3.
Yep.
Walk away happy from that end. Potomac 2. TJ McKenna throwing that stone.
and Jack checking to see, but it's not biting
That's
on
no.
the top.
You got
good,
you got to look.
Good
That
effort
was
there, Jack.
that was a very optimistic check.
I'm just gonna look and make sure that's only a couple
Jack.
inches of white. Are we sure it's not biting?
Get out the biter bar.
Yeah. Fun fact: those houses are not entirely to within fractions of an inch, but
Yes, but
when in doubt, don't be afraid to grab
I
the
don't
biter
think
bar.
that one was gonna be.
No, if the houses are that far off,
We have a
we're in some
problem.
trouble.
Yeah.
High quality control here
But
at
you
Potomac.
can't be mad at him for looking.
Nope.
If he was my vice, I'd be throwing the thumbs up from the other end. All right, so back to sheet B. So
I have actually gotten lucky once with a biter.
really,
Yeah, so it was last spring.
yep.
I had one. I was vicing, so we were down to Skips Rocks. Anyways, we were down to Skips Rocks. Yeah. My opponent thought I had one that, from overhead looked very close, like it was right on the edge. I understood why they thought it was out, but knowing that the thing that actually matters is the biter bar from the pin, which is not always exactly centered either, perfectly, I knew what's the harm in taking the biter bar and seeing if I got it. And I ended up, instead of it being a blank end, I got to steal a 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
When in doubt,
when in doubt,
request the measure because it doesn't cost anything. It's
Well-
except time.
well, yes, but
yeah. So, yeah. And so my opponent had assumed that it was out and just threw the hammer right through, thinking it was going to be a blank. Didn't even try to hit it.
And why would he be blanking? Just in general, why would you ever blank it in?
Because in that case, it would have been far worse for him to take the 1.
Yep.
Because it was a close game already. It was only like the second end,
Yep.
so there was no harm in taking the blank
Right.
to keep the hammer.
And the hammer is that much of an advantage that
Yes.
it's better to take 0 than 1
Right.
in most cases.
Yeah, which is why we said earlier that the goal, if you have the hammer, is to take 2 or to get the blank. Because if you get the blank, you keep the hammer. And if you don't have hammer, you want to either steal
Or force.
or force the other team to take just 1.
So the scoreboard is a big part of the strategy of a given end, and the same outcome on the same different ends may dictate a different strategy.
And at different points in the game, your goals might be different because in the later stage of the game, depending on the score, a blank might be even worse than a force.
So
depending on the point differential.
Looks like Aanya throwing a nice clean, speaking of takeouts, clean takeout to be sitting 1-2 with a rock on the far side. And they're quite happy to throw into the house right now, and I think that's not a bad strategy. Make Charlie chase and see what they can do and keep the end kind of low. We have a special request. Shout out to Jack Davis's family watching in Seattle and Lake Tahoe. And I think that's Aaron, Michelle, and Liam. So welcome to Potomac Curling Club and our stream.
Yep, here they're watching this by their Christmas tree.
And feel free to hop in and say hello in the chat too.
Yes. Call out your family. Call out your junior curler or middle rocker. We love to hear from the family. All right, so Charlie calling that shot, that direct hit on the center rock, and I think that's pretty much what he wants to do here is play a clean house and play for that blank end.
Stone Cold is playing aggressive over on sheet C and is already piling rocks into the center of the house.
Yep.
I feel like we've seen this before.
It worked for them once.
Yes, except this time they don't have hammer.
Ooh.
So they're playing.
I almost like that strategy more without hammer than with. If I have hammer, I want
True.
some guards up.
Yes.
And, looks like a flash on that, so Aanya throwing her second shot. And Freya calling for the same idea. Play to the middle of the house, make them move you. And not quite as risk averse as maybe throwing the guard up, but can result in maybe a better chance for a big steal. And that rock looking just a bit heavy.
Yep.
And again, we go back to that. The ice now is different from what it was the last time she threw this line.
Yep. And you saw there that they even were sweeping it deep to get it out because they prefer to have it out of play versus sitting in the back of the house.
And why is that?
Because you don't want to give your opponent backing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that means if they throw a rock and there's nothing behind it, there's nothing you can do. If you overthrow your rock a little bit, there's a rock in the back of the house. You're on your opponent's rock, by definition out counting them. But that hit, nice and clean, and I think that was George Harrison throwing his second rock.
Ooh, a nice tap in here on sheet C.
Yes, that's a beautiful promote.
Covering that button, not quite.
A little fidget spinner design there in the
I was
house.
going to say.
Yeah.
It's like a little...
All right, Freya calling 9-5 if you heard that. That's the speed from hogline to hogline. And that means throw it fast, hard, and straight.
9-5 is going to be about control weight or a little up.
A little up from control. Normal down, control up, depending. And Freya looking like she's happy to just replace rocks. That if everybody hits everyone's rock at this point cleanly and doesn't spill,
That one's going to crash and stick around. So yellow sitting 2 way out on the wing.
Yeah. So, yep, George calling, just freeze on it, hopefully out count with backing. And that's why having those rocks in the back of the house doesn't help you quite as much, other than counting points.
Give a nice draw ice. That broom right on the button.
Yeah. And we see as that's coming down over on C, yellow in a good position now. They've got a rock in front, they've got that backing, and any hit by red will seal that.
That rock needs to curl a little bit.
Yeah.
Nope, now they're sweeping to keep it.
Much as they thought it might.
Well, it is going to hit their back red and stay.
Possibly out count that other yellow?
That looks close from above, but then again, fishbowl
Yeah,
is...
the fisheye is misleading, but it does look to be too yellow currently, is my thought.
Perhaps our second measure of the evening on the sheet. If it comes to it.
And Freya saying, nope, let's just remove anything that can count. So Becca throwing another hit right on line. Freya calling line. So heavy sweep. And that's moving more than I think.
That is
quite a lot.
Yeah. She's on her own. Back rock jams. This one split to the other side of the house. And not the worst outcome. You're still sitting 2.
Now definitely sitting 2, yes.
Yes. No measure necessary for that one.
Charlie just saying, hit it clean. And he wants to keep that rock in the house. And over on C, what are they considering as we watch this hit get thrown?
They're thinking a lot here.
They're doing the math on the angles.
Yeah, so...
You can get rid of 2 of the reds, but you can't get rid of all 3.
Well...
Nobody in this room can get rid of all 3, I think. And this hit nice and clean and just enough off the nose to roll. Not a bad place. So Freya not even considering. The other option here is the draw and freeze.
But she's going to be content just to hit that one.
Remove rocks.
Yep.
One miss can lead to a very big swing in points on these kinds of ends.
She can't give up points if you take their
Yeah.
the
Can't score
opponent's
if you got
rock.
no
Opponent
rocks.
can't score if there's nothing in the house.
Yep.
Exactly.
So over on sheet C, I think they're aiming for the shot rock.
Okay.
If it's a little wide, they can come in off their yellow a little bit. If it's a little narrow, they can do maybe get rid of 2 reds. At least get themselves in a better position if they hit yellow.
Freya with
Very
a
beautiful double.
shot by Freya.
And
Spills out, which leads to the possibility of a blank, and that works out for Charlie.
Though that shooter is out of the house, it is still in play. So never know what might happen with that.
He wants to freeze, so not going for the blank. He's
Plenty of
going
weight
for his
here
deuce.
on sheet C, they might actually get to the red.
Past the
There's a
guard.
little
it
tick off the
sneaks
guard, but
past
that
the
helps.
guard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, big spill on that.
Not the
Okay.
direction of all they wanted, but it improves things.
Yeah, yeah.
One less red rock.
No,
Closer to the circle.
Yeah, good shot
Yep.
for Team Harrison. Remove a red, replace it with your own. All right, so Charlie Laufer throwing his first, asking for a little less ice, insisting on a little more ice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, he's throwing the intern. And I like this call. I think it gives you the best opportunity to get multiple.
It's already curling a decent amount.
And a miss on the... And what were we saying earlier about making your first shot a draw if you're skip, right?
Yeah.
Gives him the draw weight. Freya unlikely to be able to...
Oh, heavy.
A little heavy,
and
but
a
that's
little
okay.
Too much ice, but
He's dialed in
the
for
end of
his
the
next
world.
shot.
Yep.
Okay.
If Freya goes in tightly, if Freya goes in anywhere closer than the 8 foot, you can hit and stick for 1.
Looks like she's debating whether or not she wants to split the house here.
So
Looks like she's
And it's
trying.
going to be a no.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with splitting the house is they can draw down to the yellow and then outcount that anyway. So if you come over to that side, get it in front of the tee line, then you take away their drawdown, and it makes it really hard for them to hide somewhere.
Yeah. Well, at that point, all Charlie has to do is hit white paint, and he'll get his point.
Yeah.
but that'll be taking the force.
Yep. And I think getting on the scoreboard this early, making it a 2-point game, he's
Yep.
got plenty of options.
But Team Stilp will not be disappointed with giving up just one.
Yeah. So everybody walks away with something. This draw coming in quite nicely. Hard sweep.
Careful not to
curling
oversweep
as much
it.
as they're thinking it is.
And it's also carrying a little more.
So a draw to that should count, but all he's really got to do is hit red paint.
He could double them out, but probably not get the blank.
No, that would be a very tough blank to get. So
I wouldn't try it. So looks like based on the ice he's given, just trying to draw in, outcount that, use it as backing. I think nobody disagrees with that call.
So on sheet C, it's about to see the hammer. Or hammer's about to be thrown.
And looks like they're playing the hit, trying for the
Yeah,
double.
I think they're trying to run back their yellow and get rid of something red at least.
Or at least mitigate. So. Charlie Laufer's release. You heard the call, it looks a little lighter, which it needs to be.
So it'll be
Sweepers thinking it's good. And this should be good for Charlie. I like,
It's carrying.
Slow down.
sheet C, the hit's coming in here.
Slow down. And Becca sweeping that out for one, and tough miss.
All right, Harrison got rid of one of the reds, so somewhat successful on sheet C.
Yeah, and Harrison cutting down what could have been a very dangerous end.
Yep.
To keep themselves in the game. All right, what's going on? We've got a couple of skip stones on sheets A and D.
So we've got a few stones left for the third end on sheets A and D, but you can
Shoot overhead and check out Potomac 2 and 3 and 1 and Philly Dream.
So Potomac 2 sitting 2 in the house, and some stuff way high in the guard zone. Over on D, Philly Dream is sitting 3.
Very good.
Still have 3 rocks left to throw on sheet B. So.
Yep. Philly Dream has the hammer, so you'll see they're about to throw their first skip. Skips rock.
And the call there, a guard in the house, but sitting above and taking away the easy hit on that left side yellow rock.
Or an easy draw.
Yeah, easy draw. And the stone away for Potomac 1. Jeremy's, Potomac 3 on the left side of your screen. And the hit attempt stays close to the wall. That wall can be dangerous.
Yeah, rocks like to just suck right to it. Has its own gravity field.
It's almost sublime. All right, so conversations going on sheet D. Looks like that first of 2 rocks was a little heavy. And same going on sheet A.
Yeah, so this should be, for red on both sheets, this will be their last rock for this end on A and D.
On A, if you're red, do you plug that hole, or do you
On A here, let's see.
stay to the right, take away the draw path? Ooh, I don't think so. Is there much of a draw path down that center?
Down the center? No, because it would over curl. It would probably end up over curling and not out counting that one at the edge of the 4.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Trying to draw around. So what you can't really see in that view is there's the wall there. So you're going to be, the rock's going to get close to the wall, and sometimes you're not quite sure what that rock's going to do when it gets close to the wall. But anyway, you'll see that in a couple seconds here on sheet A, and then
And that is
just
right through that draw path. Look at that.
Oh, nice. Over on sheet D, this is the hit on sheet D. Last red. Oh no. Missed everything.
So
Philly Dream's going to have a draw for 4 here on sheet D. They just got to get to the white, get to the 8-foot. And over on sheet A, Potomac 3 is going to be trying to figure out what to do.
Looks like they're calling the draw.
Yeah.
we just saw that the draw path is there.
And if it's heavy, if it fails to curl, you've got that red rock that you can maybe glance in off of.
Weight seems pretty good.
I don't hate that. Calling the sweep. And that's going to crash into the guard. And
Jack is up there to try
That is-
and oh boy.
And an
Yep.
opportunistic sweep for 4 for Potomac 2. Well done, Jack. Way to play.
Okay, on sheet D, this is hammer.
And that's going to, looks like that's going to clear out the red. It's not stick around. So Philly Dream taking 3. in the third end. And that's John Cooney, Michael Corso, Gregory Stanek, and Evan Friedman. So, what have we got going on here on our feature sheet?
So here's our. There's not much going on in the house right now. Here's the view overall.
Yeah, a backbiting red.
And
Freya
Freya's
not playing around.
Nope.
You can't score if you're not setting rocks. She's up with 5.
She's just saying, make it disappear.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of action happening.
That's our star commentator, Henrik Carlson, the most knowledgeable man in the room. And yeah, maybe.
I do see Ben Peters.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Second most knowledgeable man in the room. Anya's hit, nice and clean.
Oh, very nice. Sit right on the button over on sheet C.
Very nice draw. by
Right
Team
to
Harrison.
sit on the lid.
Retired.
All right, so Charlie Laufer really wants to get under that guard.
Looking a little heavy.
Heavy, unfortunately. Good attempt, good call, good strategy, and him waving off his teammates saying that's
Yeah.
all right, keeping them encouraged.
It's like the ice is just boozling them a little bit with speed. But, you know, the ice is still, you know, through the first half of the game, the ice continues to speed up. And then once you get into the 5th, 6th end is when it starts slowing down again.
Depending, given Kale and Eric making ice tonight, I wouldn't necessarily count on that, but broadly speaking, yeah.
So
It just
Freya-
depends.
Freya's calling to clear their own guard here.
Wow, yeah, Freya, and that is why Freya recognizes that guards represent points and offense, and even if it's her guards, Charlie is absolutely using them.
Fun fact, you are allowed to use your opponent's guards.
Yes. So, yeah,
They are
Charlie
not exclusive.
absolutely exploiting that that yellow rock, and out there, the run back, not automatic. So we're going to watch, let's see, that's Red's 4th rock. So George Harrison trying to draw right under. And if anybody wants tacos, head to the club now. They're on.
But it's not Tuesday, Jamie.
It's Tuesday in our hearts. And
Oh, okay.
You never heard of Taco Saturday?
No, I have not.
Oh, well, you're missing out.
don't we call that Sabor Saturday?
Uh-huh.
Saturday of
I prefer
flavor.
Chicken Fingers Friday. That's just me.
And Freya trying to sweep that back. That rock lined up very nicely. George
Yes, it did.
Harrison hit the line perfectly. And that now is not trivial for Freya to pick out, and she's got to adjust her strategy a little bit. Can you see it?
No.
You heard that answer.
Yeah.
And
From the right-handed hack, that would be very thin part of it. From the left-handed hack, probably be able to see a good 50%.
And the nice thing about that rock, if you can see a little bit, you don't have to throw a whole lot of weight, right? You throw hack weight,
Yeah.
and you can just chip it out, stick around. So Freya choosing to presumably run back, but I think no, looks like she's just trying to clear that out. Coach for Team Laufer with the head
That's
shake.
the coach for Team Stilp.
Oh, it is the coach for Team Stilp. My apologies, coach. We're encouraging both teams. Are you really? All right, so I was half right.
And
Okay, two coaches named Laufer.
rolling the coach
Coaching
further,
still, yeah.
rolling the guard further out to the side, where now it's basically a non-factor,
Yeah.
with it being that wide.
And the dilemma here, do we split the house or do we guard? And I think he's calling to split the house,
Yep.
which is what I'd be doing.
He wants to He wants to guarantee that he can have a path to 2 here.
There are very few 12-foot doubles thrown on this ice by any hurler of any level. And the general strategy there is force your opponent to deal with only one of your rocks at a time.
And since Laufer has hammer,
guaranteeing you at least one, hopefully point if you execute well, and hoping for 2.
ooh, this is
That
looking
may slow down. Freya's going to do her best to sweep. We're going to watch her carefully. She can only sweep behind that line. And that's going to stick around.
well on the back, though, so she can make use of that.
And so her general strategy was to freeze. In this case, she's just clearing out rocks, clearing out points, playing the scoreboard.
By making use of it, she's going to make it go away. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And she doesn't hate the spill on this. If anything, I think she'd prefer to.
Yeah, because then it doesn't give Team Laufer anything to, lock onto at the back.
Yep. And you hear her calling hard. That looks like it's over curling.
But
she
it's
will
still going to
be
make
okay,
contact.
and she will most likely
she will spill out?
roll out. Yes. So
Giving Charlie nothing to work with.
It's
And that
technically
rock's
still in play.
You see on the bottom left of your screen, it has to completely cross that back line. So I think same strategy
same
for
shot.
Charlie.
Yep.
Split the house.
Same shot.
Keep
maybe
it high.
a smidge later. Yep.
Yep.
Same shot, just a little better. That's what he wants.
Yep.
If it was me playing, I'd have a slightly different phrase for that.
I think we would, but we are positive
Yes, exactly.
on this commentating stream.
Not
We
that
are-
it's an inappropriate comment.
We are
but-
rated PG.
Well, I mean, it would be PG anyways, but
And,
it's just more
Rated E
positive.
for everyone.
Yes.
And glance from Coach
I like
Laufer
the-
telling me that
I like the weight adjustment here on this one.
Oh,
this
beautiful.
This is much
beautiful
better.
Much better.
Yep. And that's
Going to be
John
just
Lassoff's
behind the T line.
second. So Freya most likely going to take it out again.
Yep, but that is an excellent shot.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that one. And over on C,
Speaking of an excellent shot, that was an excellent hit of that Harrison stone that was right on the lid, and the shooter rolled out to the edge of the 12-foot, but it's still there.
Yeah,
So
And guarded.
yes,
by the yellow
So-
stones.
Yes.
Stone Cold is now sitting in 3, all out in the 12-foot.
Yes.
Can't see it from here, but Becca Lassoff and Charlie exchanging words, friendly words, at this level, at this spiel. And that hit needs a little bit of work to move. Sweep to keep it
Gonna
straight.
get there.
And is the double in play?
Oh, it is not going to get there.
Oh, flash. Narrowly missed. Just didn't move left to right or right to left.
Didn't move quite as much as they thought it was going to.
And that opens
It's
the
okay.
door for...
Still fist bumps and high fives, so
I think I've seen those fist bumps and high fives on every shot.
yes. Keeping the team positive, keeping the energy flowing.
Play the mental game.
Yep. Hey, we're not going to hit everything.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't have to outrun the bear.
Still got another shot.
Even the players at the GC and the Briar and the Scotties aren't perfect.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, they're shooting like 90-something%, but that's still not 100.
Still not
I
100.
have seen hogged rocks and flashed rocks, and I go, I can make that shot.
Yep.
All right, so this is just a straight draw in. Hopefully, you're going to be looking at it when we see it from the screen. Our right side of the screen, lined up vertically.
Smidge hot, it looks like.
Looks a
but
little
it
spicy.
should stay.
Yeah, that's a spicy boy.
Looks like it might even come down to the back one.
I think it's going to give a bump to that back one a little. Yeah,
No.
no, it
Becca
really hit
sweep
the
in.
brakes after the T line.
Yeah.
So, good shot. Another rock in the house.
This
Do
is
you
where
ever chase the double on that?
I
Instead of going for that
chase
rock?
the double.
I would chase the double.
I think the...
Because the slight danger with going with this rock again here is, yes, you can take it out, but if you spill,
They have
you're
a,
leaving an easy,
An
well,
easy
not
three.
easy, but a
draw for 3.
relatively simple draw for 3.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
she's hoping to hit it on our side of it and
Is she
And
going
roll
for the
over
triple?
there.
and roll over on top of
I
the
wouldn't
other
put it
two.
past her. I would not put it past her.
she's going for the big kebab.
Yeah, an aggressive move, but she has the talent to pull it off.
Well, and she's also has the confidence of being up 5 points right now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So
Unfortunately, a miss here
And
would
this
give them a
did
draw
look
for
a
4.
tiny bit wide. Let's see if it comes back.
And yeah,
Oh.
tough miss. Bold move, and it did not pay off, but
She's all smiles.
she's all smiles. And I think she knew what she was doing there the whole time. And yeah. All right, so glance from Vice John Lassoff to ask them to clear the house, and open draw with backing for 4 to bring this game pretty tight after 4 ends.
Which, as a point, he's actually correct. That is actually, they're not all supposed to be right there.
Yeah. And the spirit of curling and the etiquette of curling both
And immediately waving off any sweeping on this rock.
strong factors. Yeah, this line's been well swept.
And this is just going to be a little hot, but I don't
spicy.
think they will be upset with a 3-point end.
If I would walk away with 3 with a smile after this end. High fives.
High fives, smiles
Team
back.
Laufer again.
Yep.
And let's take
And
a
a
glance
game.
and see.
Yes.
Oh, split that one on.
Split on and blocked a bit of a draw path.
Excellent shot from Stone Cold.
So leaving Team Harrison that open draw to hit full 8 or even full 12 for their point. And we'll be jumping to the overhead view after this shot to take a look at what's going on the skip stones on the other 2 games. And Henrik has invented the spork. We had a guest in the booth. And Jeremy Steele's father, Mike, coming in to watch. We're going to that in just a moment. Yeah. And we did notice the steel last end, which was, oh yeah, time flies when you're having fun. And tacos are out. I think one of our broadcasters ditching you for tacos. And just waiting for this release overthrown by, I think that's Owen. Nope, that's just checking my board here. That's Holly Harrison. I apologize to Holly and her family. Very nice weight on that. You'll see that coming down the top right side of your screen in just a moment. Big Ben. They've got to sweep that for line, but I think that's going to make it in. Whoa off, a little bit spicy. I think that's going to be good if it gets a little bit of
Oh,
brakes.
it lost its handle, so it reversed.
That'll slow it down nice, and
Yep.
touching the button is what you want on your hammerstone every time. Beautiful shot by Holly to bring them back into the game, and we're going to come to an overhead view because we got some close games on close game on sheet D with looks like 2 stones left to throw by Potomac 1, and that's Jeremy Steele, whose father is standing concernedly. Oh, sorry. That was Philly Dream throwing theirs. Thank you, Michael. All right, so now 2 stones left to throw for Potomac 1. And let's see there. Are they thinking hard? They're looking at it. And what are they looking at? Jeremy taking a second. That is Jeremy. And leaving instructions, he's going to draw.
He is calling for a double here.
Was that over on sheet A?
Sheet B.
Sheet B?
Yeah,
Oh.
except, yeah.
And yes, the immediate sweep call. So over on A, Potomac 2, 7-1 over Potomac 1. And
How's that hit?
Oh!
Not
Nice
quite
way
in.
to remove a yellow rock. Under regard. So Potomac 2 in a very good place right now. And that hit on sheet B. Failed to move one rock, I believe.
Well, Potomac 1 got just enough of Philly's rock to get it out of the house.
And looks like they spilled as well.
So there's still 2 rocks left to throw there.
Yep.
So that'll be a 1-point end or a blank, depending on how this plays out.
Yeah, Philly Dream is going to try to sink it ideally.
Right side.
Right side, probably 4, right on the edge of the 4-foot behind those guards. Make it real hard to get with a takeout for the blank. Try to, make the force happen.
Stop trying to make force happen.
Man, I'm not trying to make force happen.
That's fair. That's fair.
They are.
They are. I think they've got a good chance at that.
I think so.
And if they fail to bury completely, that gives Jeremy a chance to hit
Pick it
spill
out.
or take his point.
Ideally, they'd want to pick it out and roll for the blank.
Yeah. Aanya throwing very
Ooh, that
clean-looking
Philly
release.
stone is looking a little hot.
And that might just do the worst option. Leaves that red rock in the house. Everybody's sweeping that out.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So the choice for a blank for Potomac 1.
Yep.
And I think we're going to see the hammer shot of Potomac 3. And looks like they're calling just the draw, full red, for their point. Over on sheet B and sheet C, I think we're just going to see some hits called. And that rock has to move. You're going to see it come down the second from your left on the screen.
And yeah.
And that's got to bend a lot more than it is. All right, so there's an opportunity for Team Stilp to either clear out that red rock, and that's exactly what she's doing. No hesitation. Can't score if you don't have rocks. We're hearing a hard sweep call, I think, from sheet D. And young Sam Fry sweeping hard. And as we all know, sweeping keeps you warm.
They want that to keep going.
Oh, so the shot call was the draw for the point, but is that biting?
No,
Nope,
it is
that's
out.
through. So blank on sheet D, and let's go back to our...
Which I would say is the better choice.
I would have gone for the blank. Looks like you had a couple of points on sheet A. We'll bring that score to you once they have it. All right, back to our overhead future view. Mr. Ken Clark now leaving us for tacos. We're going to see throwing the hit at the yellow rock in the house. Ideally split the house, and right now Freya with hammer, so playing for hopefully the steal. But again, can't score without rocks, and missing that a little bit, giving Freya the opportunity to hit that right red rock, and she'll have that house split.
Yep.
Giving her, if executed perfectly, a probable deuce. Becca, clean release, nice delivery. Hard for line, the call by Freya. And that will clear the rock and stick around.
Yep.
So with hammer, sitting 2. And far enough apart that the hit is the double is non-trivial. And Stone Cold here on sheet C, pursuing their strategy of if you fill the house with rocks, you might get some points. And
Yep.
it's a pretty good strategy.
And they're going to
That's
get another
actually a
counter
very,
here.
Very nice, very nice draw. That counts, blocks the hit on one side.
And takes away the draw path.
And takes away a bit of the draw path, so.
Does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'd be proud of that shot if that was me.
Yeah. And Laufer just going to hit that.
Hit. And
Flop to
spills
the
it
center.
over closer to the center and closer to that yellow rock. Trying to force the play together so that they can clear out multiple rocks. Freya presumably trying to keep the house split as far as possible while removing red stones. And this looks nice. Sweep is hard. That rock is going to move more than a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to accomplish at least plan A.
And
a little bit of a spill. Not ideal, but still accomplishes their goal.
they accomplished 2 out of the 3 things they wanted there.
Yep.
1, they hit the red rock. 2,
Yep.
they removed the red rock. And 3, they wanted to keep the shooter somewhere around, but that one didn't quite.
Didn't
But,
quite do it.
You know, you got 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. I hear that's an
Those are
expression.
and it was the 2 most important parts.
Yeah, yeah.
The 3rd one is almost more of a bonus.
Stretch goal.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So, same shot. We're playing a game of hits right here. And this game is why the 5-rock rule, first the 3-rock rule, and then the 5-rock rule was invented. Because given curlers of sufficient skill, the optimal strategy is just remove stones and win the right coin flip and end the game 1-0.
And now we have an empty house.
Yep.
With a guard in the corner that really is not going to
do
matter.
a whole lot. Yeah. So, would you be blanking here? Because you've got a couple of stones to go, and you don't quite have the lead you did.
But it would not be a bad thing for Stilp to blank here, because that also would give them hammer in the even-numbered ends.
Which is an advantage.
Because then theoretically they'd have hammer in the last end, since we play 8.
There's a big assumption on that, though.
Right.
That assumes we play 8 ends, which is never guaranteed at club level.
Right. Because we also impose a time limit for the total game.
Yeah. So Freya opting to draw. She does not appear to be throwing the rock away. And I kind of like this. If she buries that rock right side of the house, forces the chase. Hits are not a given, especially out on the wings.
Right. So that's the other thing, is she's
playing for a chance for 2, and a hit and spill by Charlie could still result in her desired outcome of the blank.
They're trying to
get it on. Get it on.
Is it gonna? Nope, it is not on.
That leaves the door open for Charlie to bury one.
Yes.
That's that guard representing offense. But the thing about guards is they work for both teams. Just not as well if it's the other team.
Right.
But no
guards
hesitation.
don't take sides.
Guards don't take sides.
No.
It's very Shakespearean.
It's easier to use them later to promote.
Yes.
And then they very much
that's also Freya's.
Yeah.
Has an option there as well, depending on this shot. Yeah. Promote that back into the house for.
And if she does a really good shot, she could potentially get both that one and the shooter in.
Yes.
To, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the tick on. She's got
chip it in.
with that.
Yeah, nice little.
With how close it is.
She could play that guard to her other guard.
Yep.
To get both of them in the house potentially.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. Difficult shot.
Difficult.
As we said earlier, I like my opponent to be throwing the hard shots.
This looks a little light.
So they are hard on this rock as it comes down.
Yeah, they are sweeping
They're
that
going
hard.
all 3 sweepers here.
These young men
it's
definitely
going to
moving
be
that
more
rock.
like a 2.
I think that leaves the door open for Freya to choose the blank or the deuce if she can get the split on. And
what would you do here, Jamie?
Up 5th and
2.
up by 2.
Take
the
a
smart
1.
move, I think, would be take the blank.
The aggressive thing would be try to chip it and chip one of those 2 cards in to pick up 2.
And I think
but
that's the draw there.
Yeah.
Nope, that's a throwaway. Yep.
She is throwing
That
that
is
away.
absolutely take my blank end and keep my hammer.
And
Yep.
don't risk moving any rocks.
Yep.
There we go. Yep.
Yep. So, hammer in the 6th end, coming back towards us in the warm room. We in the warm room?
Yes.
And looking over at Stone Cold and Harrison, and we're seeing that house full of red that we were getting used to.
I feel like I've seen this movie a couple times today.
I saw this one on TV. Watch this.
And they're going to take that and put it way down in the little corner where we hang the blanks.
So what you're going to see coming from the top right side of your screen looks like the first of 2 hammer stones by Holly Harrison. And
2 hammers.
sorry, skip stones.
Stones.
I'm like, since when do we have 2 hammers? Oh my gosh.
What version of the game where I get 2 hammers?
Yeah.
That's the secret.
If I'm down by 8 or more, I get the last 2 stones.
Yeah.
Is that what that?
Ooh, what a boon that,
That
would
sounds like
be.
a Hangover Spiel game.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a yellow rock coming down. I think they're trying for the hit. If they can get past that guard, I think
They got
they don't hate
something,
moving
but
the guard,
it's-
but not enough,
Rocks moved.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Not in a helpful manner, though.
So I think the replacement there for Stone Cold with Owen is just to put another one high and maybe take away that same hit that Holly was after.
Oh, this one's looking light from Laufer again. That one is maybe going to be, yeah, it's going to be barely over. Oh, no.
It's over.
It's hogged.
No, that is that unfortunately misses, but nice line on that rock.
Well, and they're starting to, I think they're starting to see the ice go the other way
Yep, I think
because we are into the 6th end, so
nice
ice will
pebble
start,
gets worn down.
yep, and the ice will start slowing down, so
All right, and
Just
Freya
need to
calling for
readjust.
in the house on the wings. Make them chase us, and that sets you up if they hit and play the hit game and stick. You can get your single or clear, blank rather, and if they happen to miss one, you're stacking up your 2nd point. Nice line, sweet call for line, and this feels a little light, so that's sweet. They're calling heavy, we're calling light. And I think that one's going to be a very, very high guard.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 maybe. If
That'll get
yeah,
over.
it'll be a 2.
When I play with Brandon, he says, we'll use that one later.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, keeping up with the ice is one of the hardest things to do in this game.
Yeah.
Because, just like, that's one of the biggest things in bowling. It prevents people from getting that perfect 300.
Yeah.
Because oil patterns matter in bowling, and that same type of principle, applies here.
Every rock you throw changes the ice for the next shot.
Yep.
Once you start to think you figured it out, you have to throw on a different path, and you go, well, what do I do now?
Yep.
And I think this is right, and sometimes you are, and
And at the beginner level, I will leave people an open hit on an unfamiliar line and take something else and say, you want to chase that, feel free.
which is
Works
why
less at the
I
more
didn't hate Freya's calls here
Yeah.
to go to the wings.
Yeah.
No.
Nice shot.
That is a
And they're
Nice
like,
draw.
sit, and
it'll stick
little
around
heavy.
the back 8.
yep.
Yeah. Sweepers seem happy with that. A couple of fist pumps. And we're going to shortly bring you... actually, we're getting... Over on A, we've got a tight game with skip stones coming up, so let's keep a close eye there.
A, or do you mean D?
D.
D,
We
okay.
read left to right in America.
Right.
All right, so Freya calling a draw in the house. Freya does not want guards right now.
Actually, I believe this is a hit on that rock.
Oh,
That was called.
the one that's hidden on the red line, and that's
Yes.
a downweight hit. But it hits, it sticks around.
It's nice, hack to bumper weight there.
Yeah, and we're just going to trade rocks, and Freya's looks like she's happy taking her one. We're taking the option for a blank.
Yes.
And setting up the next end, or if she can exploit a miss, she'll do that. But Charlie calling for that hit.
Yep.
It'd be interesting if we do come down to it. The 6th end, up 2. Do I take my 1 and go up 3 with 2 to play?
I think if we're professional curlers, we
Yes.
don't. But I think since we're not professional curlers, points on the board
Yeah.
aren't trivial.
With
Yep.
Which is to say, if I'm Freya, I'm playing a professional game. And yeah, the coach is weighing in.
Yeah.
Most teams would take points. Yeah.
And it might just be me personally, but I think just for me,
Yeah.
a 2-point lead is the worst lead.
In any sport.
In any sport,
Yeah.
especially in this sport,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, I'm up 2. I'm okay.
Yeah. And
And then
Freya,
you give up 3. And then you're like, well, what do I do now?
what do I do now? Freya clearing that guard, hoping to peel.
Yep.
Leave nothing to hide behind. Not even trying to protect her own rock. Just give them nothing to work with. And over on C, Ollie throwing her last rock, trying to mitigate at this point. Beautiful peel. Wouldn't have hated that to stick around, but even now, sweeping that out. Just nothing to hide behind, nothing to work with. And we're thinking
He's going to try to freeze
we're
down
going to
to
try to
that
freeze
yellow.
on it. Yeah, he's got to try to build something. And doesn't want to keep giving her the
Options for takeouts.
options for points, yeah. So we're coming down on sheet C. Looks like Stone Cold Owen is going to be
Hammer.
throwing 4-6 again. They've got 5 in the bag.
I feel like I'm watching Groundhog Day here, Jamie.
Watch me make this ice sculpture. This is a beautiful, beautiful throw to freeze.
Yeah.
Right on.
Little
Right on
tap,
Little
but
tap.
that's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, I would be pleased by that. We see some nods from the not quite coaches, not quite not coaches. And Freya calling for the hit on this.
And meanwhile on C, they are frantically sweeping that rock,
They're,
which tells
they're a
me
little
they
worried
think it
about
might
that
be
crash.
a little light.
It's moving. I think they're controlling that. They're controlling line.
It needs to go a little bit.
Not quite.
Oh, just a short.
Yeah.
Well, I'll still take 5. And looks like Anya's throw on this one just over curled a bit. And no hesitation.
No hesitation.
Put
Give
this
me the
in front.
exact same
Yep.
thing you just did.
Pack the 4 foot. Keep the score low. Make them move rocks. And we can duck away to see Hammer in a close game on sheet D. I'd like to bring us to Potomac 1 with Hammer, throwing with possibly counting 1, not 2. No real line for the hit, so I think if I'm Jeremy, I'm guessing.
So we do still have 1 rock for yellow over there.
Oh, do
Yes.
we? Sorry,
Yes.
line
That's
of
okay.
sight was
Yep.
not great.
So there was
yellow-
a person in your view sight. Yes.
There was. And I can't quite count them at the far end. And you see a nice shot over here by, looks like, let's see, it was John Lassoff, I think, through that. And not quite as deep as I think they might have wanted it, but I don't hate it. It takes away, forces Freya to deal with that. And,
I'm back after my taco break.
welcome back, Taco Ken.
Did I miss anything terribly astonishing?
We blanked an end.
Oh,
Yeah.
And over on D, we've got a pretty critical couple of stones.
This is coming in with some good weight.
Yeah.
They'll just grab one of them,
Yeah.
push it out, but
Since it wasn't counting, I don't know
Yeah.
how much that does.
yeah,
And
it looks to me like it's still 1 red.
the peel by Team Stilp. Looks like Becca Lassoff threw that one. We like that quite a lot.
And no, your eyes don't deceive you, Ken. There was another 5 spot on sheet C there.
Ah,
Yes.
all right.
So Charlie throwing that same thing, freeze it to it. And on sheet B, you want to just see that right in front of the T line, right in front of the red.
Oh, we had a no-tick rule violation on sheet C.
Yes, so just move that back over.
Very
Yep.
nice. So that answers the question. We are playing no tick at this level, which is good, as that's what WCF, World Curling Federation, plays.
Hey, here another feature B, sheet B.
Yeah, I
they're,
do. I like this rock a lot.
This looks
on
really
sheet
good.
B.
the
You're gonna
call
see it
was
come down
to
the top.
freeze, and it's coming right in.
Yeah. And the sweepers doing their job. The sweepers doing their job.
Letting
bringing
it
close.
finish a little bit.
it's
It died just
little-
a smidge, but
Handshake
I
say
do
we're
like
happy
it.
with that.
Yep.
And we're going to see over on A, Hammer shot. sweeping hard to make sure that gets to at least half of the rock on the forefoot, that red ring. Little rub around the guard.
Very nice.
And Dad and Mom yelling, no, stop sweeping.
Oh.
And that was a beautiful shot by Jeremy Potomac 1 to score 2.
And that is frozen.
And that is a hammer shot.
Huge.
So gigantic clutch shot by Jeremy Steele.
Here they hit with peeling that red that was just thrown.
And we can come back down to, actually, if we stay on A, we've got 2 more skip stones. And watching our hammer, our feature sheet, Charlie and Freya trading shots at this point. And Freya with hammer. Charlie keeping her to a force, I think. At least that's his goal. Steele, hopefully for him, not out of the picture. But if they keep trading these shots, this winds up.
If he can get that draw just right and come sit on that red, it's going to be really hard for Freya to get both of them out.
Yeah. I think I almost like where it was, though, because Freya's hit no longer counts.
Right.
She can still draw to the button, I think, both times.
Oh,
Her draw to the button is the option. Makes it a bit harder, though.
Yeah, it's heavier than the last one.
This one a little bit spicier. Looks like it's slowing down. And sweepers think it's lighter. I don't think many people agree, and that will come and make contact.
This actually could potentially.
I don't hate that.
No, I don't.
Leaves a pocket for Freya to sit one. She's not. She's hitting.
No.
Actually, she's got the double there if she wants it.
Yeah.
She's going to come in with weight and try to double those out.
Do you think she doesn't jam that right side red on her own rock?
If she hits it right, it can still pop out.
Yeah, if she hits it right, I think all 3 of those rocks go.
But
beautiful
shooter
shot stays.
Yeah, I mean, you got to come in with a lot of weight, though.
For Potomac 2 to be sitting 4.
But I mean, even if it's jammed, she still gets the 1 that she get with the draw. So you might as well go for the chance of 2.
Yeah.
And this rock is got heat.
Yeah. This is going to come down fast from the top of your screen. It's got to move just a little bit to get that double.
Okay, well, she doesn't get the double.
Signal by Charlie to just right side of nose, and he'll be sitting 3.
Oh, there was a nice double on A.
And that takes Potomac. That was Potomac 3's hammer stone. Applause from the family, and I think that is that Potomac 3, that Seth Gross?
Yes.
And,
so they get the 1.
That gives them the 1, facing a number of points and keeping them in the game. Is there a rock I'm not seeing there?
Nope, that's it.
That was it, yep.
Let's come back to our feature sheet and watch this throw by Charlie. He's got a good chance to put Freya in a tight position.
Let's get a little closer view here.
I think he pushed that just a bit wide.
Yeah. And the sweepers waving their hands going, come on, move to the left.
I do that to the rocks sometimes.
It works. I've seen it work, and unfortunately, that looks like it leaves Freya with a clean hit for 2.
Yep.
And everybody placing the broom for that shot, including Charlie's. I think that's his vice, John Lassoff.
See, they're doing a little tap back here. It looks pretty good.
Oh,
beautiful.
Oh, very nice.
That play.
Yellow.
Harrison doing a very good tap back there.
Well done, Holly. And a yellow-dominated house. So, Freya lining up for this hit.
Don't need quite the weight you did last time.
It's got a,
You're only trying to move 1 rock, not 3.
Not 4.
Yeah.
And that should start to move. Here we go. And it's got to. She's got backing if she's a little narrow, fortunately for her, because that's tic-tac.
Yep.
And
very nice.
Holds it for 2.
Yep.
Happy noises from the crowd, and that puts Team Stilp up 7-3. All right.
Excellent position for Team Stilp.
Absolutely.
Up 4, 2 ends left.
Oh, maybe a run back here on sheet C. No, it's not crawling quite enough.
And a little piece
almost. That did not miss by much. I mean, it got the little contact, but...
Yeah. All right, so you are Team Laufer. You're down 4, and you've got hammer. You want to be playing for a big end, and I think that means guards.
You gotta get...
And if you're Freya?
And if you're Freya?
Every rock in the top 12?
Honestly?
Yeah. Or depending on how aggressive you want to be, just play for the steal. Set up your center guards and keep it to the nice thing about playing to the center, bringing play to the center. If you keep them to 1 or 2.
Yeah. I did hear Freya just yell, make sure it's in, so I believe she's
So
going
I think
with
she's
plan
going
B.
with plan Brandon.
Yep.
And
It's not quite going to get there, but it will be that
center
centerline guard.
Center line guard
Yeah.
on,
That is definitely the miss if you're...
if I missed like that, I would be pretty happy.
Oh, on sheet C, are they drawn in? Oh, almost. They're very close.
Yeah.
So now here's the strategy stuff here. So you know how generally there's 2 preferred options for both the team with the hammer and 2 for the team without the hammer.
Yep.
In this case, at this stage of the game, that's not true anymore.
No.
There is only 1 preferred option for Team Laufer,
And get lots of points.
Yeah, and that is 2 at least.
Yep. Yes.
And Team Stilp is like, hey, if we get any, as long as they don't get a crooked number, we're good.
Yep. You'll take. Here's a point.
Yep.
Here's a steal of 1.
Or even a blank. They'll take a blank.
First rock looks to be a smidge heavy.
Yep. And that's why those early ends you can be a little riskier.
Yep.
And if you can risk maybe I could give them 2, but I could take 6. I might
And
consider doing that.
Freya, knowing where we're at in the game, is going to peel her own guard.
Yep. We're not
Story
gonna
checks
use the,
out.
Yeah. There's an expression to that we're not going to worry about. And we're just going to say peel your own guard. And that's why. Guards represent offense for either team.
Giving her opponent nothing to hide behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. A clean
And
house.
This
And
one,
well
unfortunately, is
executed.
going to
Unfortunately, yeah.
Just replace the guard.
Just replace the
yes,
guard.
move it up just the width of a rock.
Even out to the left or the right would have done well for her.
Yep.
And over on sheet C, it looks like we've got an open opportunity. Team Stone Cold, Sahana. Looks like Sahana ready to throw with Trey water. Cleaning the place for her. Can't see it from here. And she's just going to try to take that out. Same idea. With the lead the way they do, where they have. Oh, sorry. It is Owen throwing. Try to clear that out. And hard sweep. Really hard. We're trying to get this rock around and buried. Unfortunately, I think what we might see here is
Another... No, it's just going to be another...
This is...
That will
But
not invoke the no-tip
no,
rule.
it will not,
will
because
not.
it stayed on the center line.
Stayed on the center line, so
Note that is not a tick rule violation.
Okay,
it's a guard, but not the guard they want.
Sheet C, they're trying to hit the yellow.
Freya
It's
is now
looking
again
pretty
going
good.
to try and peel some guards.
Yeah.
This time she's got 2 options.
Yeah.
Sheet C looks like a clean hit.
Yeah.
And
Spill out.
away.
All right.
it's out.
So it looks like Aanya throwing, calling the line. She doesn't want to hit that heavy. She wants to hit just the side of that, so the rock goes out.
Yeah, because she wants to spill the shooter too. And there we go.
Plan A and Plan B accomplished.
Yep, sweeping it and out of play. There we go. Touches the sideline and it disappears.
Excellent shot because could not get rid of that red one yet.
No.
So-
over curling
Oh, you're
by
right.
a couple of inches.
Now you can get rid of the red
Right.
one.
Yeah.
But
Well executed by all of Team Stilp.
So I retract my prior statement about her having
Yes.
2 options.
well, she did. She could clear it or she could draw, but just, just
I
not
meant
2 options. To
I
hit.
meant 2 options of hits, and I was definitely wrong.
Well, you could have run the red back into the yellow as long as it stayed,
Stayed on the center line. That is accurate, Ken. That's
Yeah.
very accurate.
That's a shot Ken would be calling if we were playing on
And
matinee.
here is another center line guard.
Yeah, I believe the ice is definitely starting to slow down a bit for
Yep.
our teams here as we approach the midway point of the 7th end.
Yep.
But now, Freya definitely
Now
has
she absolutely has.
2 options of stones to
I
take
believe
out.
the phrase that we're using later is nuclear curling here. No.
Which is a game we're going to invite the juniors to play, and involves throwing rocks onto whatever sheet you want. So you can throw from sheet A to sheet D if you choose.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
gosh, that sounds like
Quite
chaos.
wide.
Yeah, and that might get a little piece.
Oh,
just a little wide,
Almost
so
came back.
Here's an opportunity for
Yep.
draw under.
Yeah, he's going to try to get something established here now.
And what we're going to see on sheet C coming down, just as a heads up, is the last shot, or last rock for Stone Cold Owen. All right, so looks like that is George Harrison's second stone. And we're hearing Never Stop from Charlie Laufer. Sometimes you believe you're skipped, sometimes you don't. That rock
To stop it.
Nice
I think it's going to hang
shot.
in the back 8.
little heavier than they wanted, but they got it around the guards, and it's nicely parried. And Freya choosing to ignore it.
Yep.
Correct move.
Calling
Into the
directly for the peel again.
Yeah. Beautiful shot by Owen. Mostly buried. Shot rock, forcing Holly Harrison to deal with that. Because that drop hat for the 4 becomes a very tight one now.
And let's see where the rocks go here.
Contact
Ooh,
made,
just
peel
the
the
top.
lead guard.
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent peel. Textbook.
Textbook peel. That's a peel you could wrap a banana in.
And Charlie's calling for the same shot. Another
Yep.
draw behind here. Seeing his door open just slightly.
Just a little bit. Glimmer of opportunity. And
That
every
sunlight peeking in that crack
yeah.
in the door there.
every point you get in this end is one fewer you have to steal the next end.
Yep. Yeah, he would love to get 3 here.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Steal
obviously
one,
he would
even
love
build.
to. He would love to get 4, but
And this is a beautiful shot. This is a great shot
Yes.
by John, right where he wanted it, above the tee line, guarding the back one. Counting.
I think if you get 2, it's manageable.
Yeah.
2 is definitely manageable.
Yep. Yep.
Getting 3 is a lot more manageable. Yes.
Yeah.
Freya's going to peel the other guard.
Yeah. Freya just that's some disciplined skipping right there.
Don't worry about the one in the house yet.
Just keep peeling.
If it's wide, you go for the one in the back, which I think
Yep.
is where it's going.
Yeah. Always having a plan B is always nice, and you're going to see on sheet C.
Oh,
wow.
just
Oh, wow.
Oh.
All right.
Just kissed the guard just enough.
I believe that might have been plan L, but
Plan
Yeah,
A.
it
You know
works.
what? I saw high fives of the girls coming back up the ice. So Charlie with the same plan. And over on sheet C, you're seeing the attempt at a draw kiss and should spill just in for the point.
Oh, nice.
Holly
Yes.
with a beautiful throw to take her point on that. And, a little discussion going on there. Watching the draw here on sheet B. Little set out, I think, to
as I
hit the
say, it
broom.
looks a smidge wide, but
But I
if
think
it
I don't
swings
hate
back.
coming in on that yellow rock if it comes back.
right.
The rub is there, the chip is there. There's options.
Gotta go, gotta move.
But it does have to move. And I don't hate that.
No,
You're
that-
still shot, you've got a draw path, and you've got rocks in the way.
And you have hammer.
And you have hammer.
Right.
Right. Charlie not able to play the, or sorry, Freya not able to play the clean hit game I think she wants to. And Freya, when you watch this later, you can tell me why I'm wrong and what you were trying to call. If your coach doesn't get to you first, to me first. So Freya
Still going to try the
still
guard peel.
disciplined. Yep. And indicating that those guards really only serve to benefit one team. All right, and we're getting down to hammer. Skip stones on sheet A. We're not quite there yet. We'll bring you to them. For those of us who are watching Potomac 1 and Philadelphia's. Nice peel. Clear the rock. Force him to put it back. Yeah. Vice John pointing out that an out count might help them. And let's see what this throw does.
Out
This
count
is-
or a nice little scoring guard on that rock in the 4 foot there. Would
I wouldn't hate it. The double is still difficult, and trading hits nets you too. Right? The double is a risk, but I think at this point you have to take risks if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want your triple or your
I'm doing my crazy thoughts of how I can get 3 right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like the line on this rock.
Sweep is hard, but I think that keeps it on the line they want.
Because now it starts to dive a little bit here.
Yeah.
Once it crosses that center line, it's going to go.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
There it goes. And if they can carry that, that leaves Freya with the hit.
Yeah.
And now she's shot under guards.
And she did not hesitate in calling that hit.
No.
It's a little bit of an unfortunate shot there. It's just in a rough spot.
Yeah. Oh, and we have Mr. Churlo in the house. And from sheet A, we'll bring you to that view in just a moment. We do like to keep the feature on one sheet. And,
they need to be on this. Wow.
Yeah, this is. This rock. This rock might have picked something.
That didn't look narrow to hand, and that's moving quite a lot. So that leaves the.
As we said earlier,
Yep.
door is open.
Door is open. And now.
Now you're seeing what I'm seeing.
So,
Jamie, talk me through what you're seeing here. Let's see if we agree.
you were the one who brought up the going for 3. What are you calling?
I'm calling a nice little. You don't need a lot here.
Yeah.
Just
Hack weight.
either hack. Yep, and you just want to come across, knock that red into the yellow,
Yeah.
and take your 3 and.
Red into yellow, stick around and sit 3, and this is and has been anybody's game.
My only concern is the ice is a little narrow for my liking. I'm not sure what weight they called.
It's been moving a lot, but I think he's given a lot of weight
so
to it.
that's more of a bumper plus.
Oh no, that's got to move. I think he's got a lot of handle on that. It's still there. That's going to sail out.
Yeah.
And
a little too much
now the
handle
hope
and too
is
much
sweep
weight,
it so that it doesn't chip his own out. He's good. He'll take his signal. So I like the call. It was audacious. He had to make a bold move, and he made it.
Yep.
Let's jump over to A. We have 1 yellow stone left to throw.
And yellow is on A. Or are you talking D?
D.
Okay.
Thank you.
For those who haven't figured it out by now, Jamie calls A D and D A.
Yes.
Well, it works for me because I do the same thing, so I know exactly what he's talking about.
Exactly. Well, Mr. Ken was the man who trained me on this.
So over
Now
on
it makes
sheet
sense.
D, yellow is sitting 1
Yeah. So
with a
a straight draw for 2.
draw for 2. Yep. Just got to touch the A foot.
We'll keep them in the game, and we're good on time. They should get 8 in, right?
Yeah, I think so.
This is last draw of the evening, so I believe.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what the cutoff is for the time.
It's 2 hours, and then play 1 more.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yep.
They
Mindy
will-
Carlson really trying to make sure everybody gets as many ends as possible in. And this draw looking good.
Yeah, technically they've got like 10 minutes to make this shot.
Yeah. And
Once they release it, it's.
Okay, here comes the draw on sheet D.
John
So,
Cooney
trying to get in for 2.
sweeping
it
for
needs
line,
to
I think.
Okay, well, they're going to
He's
use
got
the backer.
backing. Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
backing is
Gonna do
That'll
it.
work.
oh,
Yep.
just
Beautiful
Just do
shot
it.
by young Mr. Cooney. And bringing them up 5-4, and they'll have hammer in the. Oh, we see handshakes.
no. I think they're just.
Oh, no, it's developmental.
Developmental. They only
ends.
play 6 ends.
Oh.
Yes, that was for the win.
That
Yeah.
was
Yes.
for the.
Oh.
Okay, thank
Oh,
Okay.
excellent.
Beautiful
shot
shot
from
by
behind,
John.
and yeah.
you. Very
Congrats.
tight game, and well played on both sides.
Well, then we
Philly
should
Dream.
be coming up to the last couple shots of our game on sheet A as well.
Exactly.
The real
And,
sheet A.
The real sheet. And so that's
Yes.
my left
The real sheet
and our
A.
left. And looking good for
Yeah,
Potomac
Potomac 3 has.
Seth Gross and Trey.
They need 6. They're sitting 4. So
With 2 rocks left.
All right.
2 of their rocks left.
No, he set through his last stone. But
Oh, you're right. They don't
looking
have hammer.
good to get into the house and dare you to miss. And there's a certain special fear of throwing against a lot of your opponent's rocks. Sweet, just try to move it out.
It's heavy, but it should stick. Yep.
Okay, so there's 5.
A
But-
reasonably straightforward shot to outcount, but you never know. Now, technically, if you're mathematically eliminated, that's a handshake. But I think in this case...
Jamie, they're not mathematically eliminated. He could throw and hit the yellow rock into the house. There's a guard that could potentially score here. Which is why that this is probably going to be a throwaway shot.
And
if
applause for Sheet D. Two good teams playing a great game. Everybody should be proud of that game on that sheet.
So there is potential here for
There
a
is.
misfire, which is why this should be thrown to the other side of the house.
But you know what? There is a certain pride in narrowing the score, winning the end.
Absolutely.
And, let's see whether they throw it away. I think they're calling for the draw. I think they've got backing.
Yeah, they're calling for the draw.
Yep.
But
Play
they're
the
calling
game.
for the draw on
On the correct
safe
side.
on the safe
Yeah,
side.
On
side
the
of the sheet,
correct
yes.
side of the sheet,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just going to crash in the center probably.
And that's quite okay. So, good. Moral victory of 5 points means it's a 1-point game at the end of it. And we'll see handshakes on sheet A.
Or hugs. Or something.
Or fist bumps.
There's the handshakes.
Yeah, handshakes, a very traditional part of the sport. You shake hands before, say good curling. You shake hands after, you say good curling. And then you retire to the broom stacking table and have a beverage of your choice. And converse. And winner generally buys the non-winner a drink. So on sheet B, our feature sheet, looks like the guard is in place. And, did they only score 1 in the last game?
They did.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So he's trying to steal. Charlie's trying to steal
Yeah,
for 3.
steal of 3 is
But the
not
guard
easy,
is how you do it.
but a little heavy on the draw.
So if I have my handbook of curling, Freya will be calling for the peel here.
Yes. And no hesitation. She is looking to run them out.
And applause from the warm room at those juniors coming off the ice and those middle rockers coming off the ice. Most of them weighing more than the rock. All right, so while we set up our end here and Freya peels, sheet C has an end going. There's plenty in the house.
Wow.
Holly Harrison and team sitting 1, maybe 2, under some good guards. And without hammer. But I think even though I don't know if she has enough rocks to make a difference, I think, again, playing for that steal of 2 takes the moral victory, takes the end, and more importantly, sharpens her skills and makes for a fun game for all of us to watch along with and for them to play. All right, this rock coming down on sheet B looking really good. And very nice, and we're almost on the button and a little bit under that guard.
What do you think Freya will call?
Should we ask the coaches?
I think she's going for the scoring rock this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
With it poking out as much as it is
Yeah.
from the right-handed hack, that's
Yeah.
the better choice.
So in priority, remove scoring, then remove guards?
Yeah,
Or does it-
if they were staggered the opposite way, I would say take out the guard.
Yeah.
But because they're staggered in a favorable direction for a right-hander,
This might yet peel the guard, though.
yeah, it's
I think they're around it.
Oh, they got around, yeah.
Yep.
No, nice shot. Well executed by Becca. Oh, that wasn't Becca, sorry. That was Aanya. but same play. Hit, and hope you can spill under. And we see the hand slaps in the background. And nice delivery, beautiful release. And the yes for the sweep call because this ice is moving, and this ice responds to the sweeper is quite a lot. We hear hard, we hear off. That's around the guard. And plan A, hit the rock. Plan B, don't go out.
Of course, here's the really fun part, is now the skips have to take into account the ice is going not act the same way.
Yep.
Because there are now half as many people out in the ice shed as there was just a few minutes ago.
Yes, what's that going to do?
It's going to cool everything off even faster.
Which means things are going to get frosty, which means it's going to go a little bit slower.
Yep.
I hear the expression, the ice is going to stiffen up a little bit.
Like a good hit here.
And that'll hit cleanly.
And excellent peel.
Excellent spill. Yep.
That
they were
is the
looking
peel
for.
they were wanting.
Yep.
Now's the point where you start counting rocks.
Yep,
And
it is now the numbers game, and I believe that we are at that magical 3, not counting the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, etiquette and rules of curling say shake when it's mathematical. I think at a junior spiel,
Have some fun.
we can play it out, have some fun.
we're not in a hurry to clear the ice, so
Yep.
if they want to play it out, play it out.
Because at this point, the difference would be 6 or 7 minutes.
Yep, and I'm sure Freya doesn't care if she gets to throw a couple more rocks.
Yeah, she likes to throw rocks. She's out here almost every day practicing, if not every day.
Sometimes twice a day.
Sometimes twice a day. And we'll still play on Saturday mornings with us us club curlers.
So when I I played against Freya on Thursday. She beat me, of course.
Me too.
She'll do that.
but she said next time I see her, she would have cut her hair short. But it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, no. I think that rock is just a little short of the house.
I don't think it's going to be there long.
No. No, it won't be.
I will
Zero
point out
hesitation.
Holly Harrison's final yellow rock, not hammer, for this the hammer team. Coming in, and looks like they're going to
might
be
be
trying
going
to get
for
rid
the
of
guard
that.
instead at this point.
Yeah.
Either one is fine.
Oh, okay.
And a good spill, and that's going to bite.
And that one sticks
That one
onto
is in biting for sure.
Yeah.
which Team Laufer is just going to basically ignore it.
Because a failure of 3 is the same as a steal. Or a yielding of 3. So keep an eye out as we're watching young Charlie go back to the hack. Final stone on sheet C for Stone Cold. And Owen not sitting shot. I think Owen is just going to try to draw and make that shot. Play for the end, play for pride, play for skill, play for practice. Or maybe they just a little hot. Throwing it away?
No, it's not hot.
Okay. No, they're sweeping.
Going to come back. Here it comes.
Yeah. And Trey looked like he's trying to push it. And we see hard call on sheet B.
That is going to
Try to get
settle in.
Beautiful shot by Owen. And that is the end of the game. Is it? Did they make it in time for another end?
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Yeah, I think we're discussing the handshakes.
We're talking about it.
Yeah. And, on a Tuesday, we might say, let's play back. There's the
And
handshakes.
there's the handshakes and fist bumps.
So,
Yep.
Good game. Final score, 12-5, Stone Cold over Harrison. All right. And Freya with the peel. Attempt.
I mean, she just has to remove one of these 2 red rocks, and
that is
that's it.
That is
That
math.
is the game.
Yes.
And I would show the overhead, but there would not be a point, considering the overhead wouldn't see any of this.
Game is outside the house right now.
Oh, switch sides of the rock.
Yeah. that delivery maybe being slightly easier on a hit. Little? Oh, that's right on. Sweep, yes. Yeah, that'll nose. That may get both, though. Oh.
Oh, and it will eliminate a red rock.
Yeah. So
And the yellow is still biting for what it's
yellow is
worth.
still biting.
So game technically
And
over.
we are
and there's
shaking
the
hands.
And yep, there it is.
These children brought up well in the spirit and the etiquette of the sport. And very close, very good game.
This
by both
end
teams.
will not count.
Yep, so we mark an X.
Yep. So score stays 7-4.
All right.
And with that, all of our games for this draw are over. Jamie, you want to recap?
Sure. Potomac 3 almost coming back, losing 8-7 under Potomac 2. Stilp holding it out in the final end over Laufer, 7-4. Stone Cold over Harrison 12-5. And Philly Dream pulling it out in the last stone of the game over Potomac 1 in a well-fought battle. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to all our juniors who played and middle rockers. Thank you to all our crowd. And especially thank you to all the volunteers who help run these spiels. And we'll see you tomorrow morning.
8:30.
8:30, yep.
8:30 draw.